is a story. Hi everyone, welcome to your February Alchemy Scope. You are indeed transmuting from lead to gold. Your energy is refining, your stories are refining. Let's take a look at, as we look at this beautiful rainy day, let's take a look at the Sabian Symbol imbued at the new moon point happening this month on the 27th of January, Friday, at 4:06 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This new moon point is the point that the alchemy scopes follow. So let's look, what is the Sabian symbol that's living at the 8-degree 15-minute point in the zodiac wheel? This is a flag is seen turning into an eagle. That's the symbology. Dane Rudyard's keynote is the dynamic incorporation of new social values in individuals who exemplify the spiritual potential and greatest significance of these values. He goes on to explain, to see the new archetype, to perceive the new standard of value with one's mind is not enough. The seer must become the doer. The impersonal is dynamized and brought into focus. We have here the acting out of the vision. Everyone, what this is talking about is the ideal becoming real, the archetype in the mind becoming the actuality in physical 3D reality. That is the symbology imbued. It means that the month ahead is going to be living in the energy of bringing the new form of individual, bringing the new form of society to a new level. Now, we also are moving into a new Chinese year, and this is the year of the Rooster, okay? Now, I'm reading here from my archetypal profile definitions for the rooster. So when you imagine a rooster and you imagine the quality sets of the rooster, you can imagine energy, a vocal nature, a being who is efficient and who is assertive. So if you are a rooster, so if your Chinese zodiac sign is a rooster, you would have the embedded quality sets, the encoded qualities of efficiency, somebody who is methodical and resilient and resourceful. You would naturally be, at your basis, a resourceful strategist. Roosters are dominant and highly communicative by nature. The archetype is inherently intense, outspoken, honest, outgoing, and industrious. Now, it's important for us to understand that this year of the rooster is going to imbue these qualities. So we're going from the year of the monkey into the year of the rooster. So there is going to be an intensity, there's going to be an outspoken nature, a verbal nature, and an assertive nature, a dominant nature that's coming forward. And I think that's happening at all levels, within the individual and within the societal whole, within humanity. So let's move on now to the individual readings and see what is activated for you this month. Capricorn, welcome to your February alchemic evolutionary story. What's going on for you in February 2017 for the Aquarius new moon cycle? So you can see here that I have circle and square. This is referring to the bifurcated branches, the two branches of the Capricorn path. okay? This is something that I sensed early in 2016, and it did feel catalyzed at the end of the year. And if you want to learn more, you can tap into the January Alchemy Scopes, okay? But in the meantime, please tune in to circle or square. Which form is attracting you? Which form are you resonating with? That is what you want to select. So I'm going to do an unveiling of the spreads underneath. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and select the Growth Edge using the Carolyn Mace archetype cards, as I do every month. We're going to pull the archetypal quality set that is asking to be evolved through you, in you, this month. So for the squares, this one wants to come for sure. And for the circles, okay, Cap. So let's go ahead and look at these, but we'll discuss them after we look at your readings. So the squares is getting dilettante, and the circles, Messiah. Those are the growth edges. So we'll talk about those after we look at your reading. So I'm going to go ahead and do the reveal. If you need more time, go ahead and put the video on pause. I'll do the reveal. Put a little more water on my Buddha board here. All right. So let's start with the squares. Now, the yellow bordered cards here are the Brawl to Lay deck. The white bordered cards over here are my Siri deck. And in the middle, I have a Druidcraft tarot card. And then in both cases, actually, I added an additional tarot card because as it was with Sagittarius, I needed additional information, okay? So let's start with the center. So the central theme for Capricorn squares over the course of February 2017, Princess of Cups upright came out of the deck for you when I was shuffling. So this folded out. And also you're getting the useful card with the Brawl to Lay. So your usefulness, your value is a central theme for your story, your evolutionary story this month. Princess of Cups, the princess is the page in the regular tarot. And so the Princess of Cups is referring, first of all, to feelings, emotion, intuition. There's a softness, there's a feminine energy here. The page, or the Princess of Cups, is talking about insight, intuition, communications. So there's some feeling or intuitive way of receiving information or giving information that you're assessing its usefulness around. And I think it's your intuition. I think it's definitely your intuition. So let's talk about what's coming up here. Actually, at the base of the reading, when I pulled an additional tarot card for you, I got the Star card reversed. So obviously this is a major arcana card. When it's upright, it's referring to faith. So this is the card that comes after the Tower in the numerical unfolding of the archetypal storyline for the soul. So faith comes after destruction of illusion. And when this is upturned, when it's reversed, as you got it, this is talking about maybe a lack of faith and also a lack of self-value. So there's an assessment of maybe not being the star, not being the one that shines, not having value. So it's a lack of self-respect or a lack of self-value. Now, that goes here with the Princess of Cups and the usefulness card. So I do think that your self-value is being assessed. Okay, squares? Now, again, let's keep with the bottom of the spread. So you have the Faith card reversed about self-value. And then you have foundationally in your 3D reality, taking a trip, giving, and asking. So it might be that you're wanting to go away, you're needing to get away, maybe you're wanting to do some deep assessment about what is unfolding in your psyche now. So if you do indeed have these thoughts about, am I valuable? It might be that a journey away, and by the way, you giving of your services, perhaps a volunteer situation is emerging, but you're inquiring about it. So there's some journey about you maybe offering your services that is, that you're inquiring about, that's going to address this lack of self-value. So this is about you feeling valuable. You're going to be taking action on a trip that is going to allow you to feel more valuable. And the interesting thing is, up here in the mental sector is the remembering card. So this is about you being reminded about who you are. So there is some opportunity for a lot of Capricorns out there. This is again for the Capricorn square branch of your path, the bifurcated path. This is about you reconnecting with who you are in your core. And I do think that your usefulness is going to be felt. Your feeling nature is going to be appreciated. You are going to be appreciating your own intuitive, emotional, sensory capacity, your skill set. You're going to honor that this month. And indeed, look at this, joy. So there's a spiritual joy, an elation, a bliss that you're going to be just naturally feeling, an effervescence. And emotionally, you're going to be listening. So this listening, this emotional listening to how you're feeling about things and paying attention and understanding that your emotions are a compass. Your emotions are a guidance system. They are not random and they are not useless. There's no non-function in nature cosmos. So, it's been a huge human modern day myth that, emotions are to be denied. So you're listening to your emotions this month and it's bringing you joy. So there's a revaluing that you're going through about your beautiful, intuitive, emotional, nature, clairsentient nature. Okay. Now, if we move on to the circles, we have a different story going on. And it's interesting because typically what's been happening is the two branches of the narratives for the signs often, not always, but often are the same narrative, but with different nuances. You're receiving a different story with this one. But let's look at it. I haven't studied it yet, actually. So in the center, first of all, let's look at the Druid craft. So the Seven of Pentacles is coming up for the main central core growth theme for you this month. Seven of Pentacles is about harvesting, but it's about assessing. It's evaluating your work. It's evaluating the time that you put into projects. It's evaluating the money or the result that you get back from something. Now, I have to say, this is not too dissimilar to this usefulness theme of the squares, right? Because there is an evaluation going on here. And indeed, we already assessed that you are remembering, you're being reminded about your value, how you are valuable. So here you are doing some assessing. And look at this. It does have to do with less belief. So believing that you are less than, okay? So you are assessing how you believe that you are less than, not of value. So in fact, it is really the same, but let's look at the rest. Now for you, the family card is coming up in the spiritual sector. That's me and my grandpa from years ago. About 10 years ago. And lovers is coming up. So family and lovers. Family in the spiritual sector. Now, this could have to do with spirit family, like your spirit guides. Lovers is in your emotional sector. And this could have to do with, now granted, it does have to do with feelings for a lover. But because the family card is in the spiritual sector with this lover's card in the emotional, what I'm getting is a deep sense of love, a feeling of love. And maybe it is connected to connection to your spirit family. So let's look at the rest because it will become clear. But I think there might be a deep kind of and again, you're receiving joy over here in the spiritual sector. So could very well be that spirit family is evoking feelings of lovers, almost an erotic kind of love with family. But on the material plane, this is material reality. Again, I pulled up the Druidcraft Tarot for the base to get more information. 10 of Pentacles reversed is coming up. Now, the 10 of Pentacles came up for Sag, but upright. So if you're a Capricorn that also has Sag in you, significant Sag, you're going to want to listen to both because this is somehow linked for you. And I will say with the squares, the Death card popped out as I was shuffling, and the Death card came up very strongly with Sagittarian. So if you're a Cap with Sag, you're going to want to listen to both readings. So at the base, more frequent is coming up along with the 10 of Pentacles reversed. This has to do with more lack, more loss, more material loss. This has to do with money. Now, as we were talking about, this does have to do with harvest, and it does have to do with assessment of harvest. And because it's a Pentacles card, it does have to do with material reality, money, business, etc. So for you, it could be that a belief in your value is up, but you're evaluating it because there's a lack of money. Again, this is coming up reversed for you. So this is about loss of money. When it's upright, it's familial stability and inheritance and, you know, money that keeps you stable. You know, it has a grounding. When it's upturned like this, it talks about loss. So you're having confusion over that. So mentally, you're feeling unclear as to why you're not reaping the benefit financially or otherwise about what you're offering. So it might be that you are in business, perhaps for yourself. Maybe you're starting out on doing a healing business or a spiritually based business, an entrepreneurial new start for you. And you are confused about the lack of money maybe, you know, coming in, and you're assessing that because you know at some level you have valuable offerings to give. So why is it not, you know, panning out? So let's look at the growth edges. Let's look at the growth edges for both, and we'll see what's coming up there. Now, for the squares, dilettante is coming up. Dilettante has to do with being the artist just for art's sake, but let's read it. So what wants to be evolved out of, Cap, is the pretension for much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So pretending that you know more than you do. What wants to be evolved into is delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So this is about getting deep, getting fun, align with the artistic expression just because it feels good. This is about aligning with your joy. And indeed, this month, there is a natural tendency for you to listen to your emotions and follow your spiritual joy. This is about following your bliss right here. So with this kind of energy underpinning the square path, dilettante is almost a validation for you that indeed this is the growth edge for you. Don't fake it. Be real. If you don't know something, you don't know something. You don't need a degree. You can just have fun pursuing what gives you joy. Follow your bliss. Now, if we look here, Messiah is coming up for the circles. Now, Messiah is saying to move out of an exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Okay? Now, again, you're doing evaluation here. You're doing evaluation here about less belief, believing that you're maybe not valuable. Or this is talking about maybe there's some exaggerated belief that you have, but that could be an ego defense. That could be a shadow projection. What wants to be evolved into is serving humanity with humility. So everybody, what I want to say, circles, is this. If indeed this is resonating for you, and even if it's not, even if you feel angry about it, that means you definitely want to listen. But this is about serving humanity with humility. So if you are doing an evaluation about your offerings, you are valuable. What you're doing is of value, but maybe there's an attitude adjustment that is called this month. That's what it looks like, okay? Now, what I will say for both streams of Capricorns is that I've also pulled your I Ching, as I always do. So the I Ching narrative is pulled, as is your Dakini. So what archetype are you to become this month? Who are you to evolve into? What's the call? What's the pull? Both of those are loaded on my website, so you can see January, February, and March for Capricorn circles and squares on the alchemyofholism.com/library. And you can also find out about ordering your very in-depth, very good. I mean, I'm getting really terrific reviews about the 2017 evolutionary story. So I invite you to place your order for that, or just if you have a solar return cycle coming up, you can order that analysis, or your birth chart, astrosymbology analysis, etc., relationship profile, all kinds of things. So on that library, you can see your library for I Ching, Dakini, and all of my services on offer. And until next month, Cap, I'm wishing you a wonderful, expansive month. Talk to you soon.